project, any data related project, the first thing is to understand the data. So let me just create this particular one, and to make it realistic, let us put a comma here. Okay, so all fields are separated by commas. Okay, right. Never put a comma at the end. Why? Because new line is by default the terminator for each and every line. The first thing that I'm going to do is, do we have all libraries? The MapReduce library is there? No, I don't have it. How will I create the MapReduce library? Again, one more time. This is the third time I'm explaining you. How will you create that MapReduce library? mkdir, you are going to write MapReduce lib, right? MapReduce lib. And then what you are going to do? cd MapReduce lib. Remember the magic command in Unix. What is that? Find /user/lib. That is the place in which all the files are kept in cloud or a virtual machine. Do not repeat this after going to your office or when you are doing a job. Why? You have to ask the admin, where is the directory where all these things are there. Maybe if it is HTTP, it will be /user/HTTP. So you have to change it accordingly. So user/lib, and what you want to find out? You want to find out all the names which are ending in jar, right? And then you have to execute. Which command you have to execute? cp. And then you have to put a pair of bracket without space. And then you have to tell where you are copying. Dot is the place where you are copying. And then you have to separate it by a semicolon. That means what this command will do, it will recursively go to all the directories under user/lib. Wherever it is finding the jar file, it will write the jar file name, put a semicolon, next jar file name, put a semicolon, and will execute the cp command for everything. This cp command will be executed against all the files that you are going to use. That is why execute exec cp, and this curly brackets will be replaced by all the jar files separated by a semicolon, and then it will be put it into current directory. What is my current directory? MapReduce lib is my current directory, and when you press enter, it will create it. Okay, anytime you lose your virtual machine and you don't have a copy of MapReduce lib, this is what you are going to do. It will create the archive. And why are we creating the archive? Recollect the previous classes. Why? Because all the Hadoop libraries are inside this jar files. That is why we are doing it. Jar, I mentioned to you, is for Java archive. So inside this everything is available. That's why I am keeping it. Now that MapReduce lib, when I created, it was empty, but you just see after some time what is happening. It is executing a very complex command, going through all the jar files, and then it is bringing that data into this particular directory. So spend some time, 2 to 3 minutes, for it to go through all the files, and the prompt came back. And if I do an ls -l, you will see the whole list of jar files that are copied, and that's what exactly that command has done. What was the next step that we did? I told you to open the browser, and then I asked you to go to foroursun.com/passion, and inside that I have told you to download the file distribution.zip, and then I told you to save the file, click OK. And after that, what you need to do is you have to go to your home directory. How will you go to the home directory? Wherever you are, you just type cd, and you will see on the left hand side it is changed to home/cloudera. That means you are in the home/cloudera/quickstart. If you see quickstart, that means if you type just pwd password where you are and press enter, it will tell you home/cloudera, which means you are on the home directory. Earlier you see this particular word was MapReduce lib. What does that mean? You are not on the home directory, but you are on the MapReduce lib directory. So you are on the home directory, and what did we do? We have moved or copied the file. What is the difference between move and copy? Move means it will be permanently moved. It will be deleted from that particular place. CP means it will be there as well as it will be here. Two copies will be created. So from where I am going to bring the copy? I am going to bring the copy from it back. How will you get the downloads directory? From the home directory. How will you get the home directory? If you put a tilde anywhere. If you don't know what is tilde, /home/Cloudera is your home directory. And go to downloads. Never type anything in Unix, because if in Unix you type do and tab, whatever directories are starting with the letter do will come. For example, documents and downloads. See, documents and downloads. Now, if you want to go to downloads, press one more letter and then press tab. That's it. If you are typing downloads and if you miss the letter A, you will tell directory not found and you will WhatsApp me, I am not getting it, right? That's what you will do. That's why always use the tab. Tab is autocomplete in Unix. Okay. So home/Cloudera/downloads. What was the file? I know, distribution.zip. Again tab. That is the fantastic facility that Unix is providing you. And you are going to copy to where? To the dot, which means again current directory. And then what you are going to do? Unzip that distribution.zip. What will happen? All the files will be created now. Okay. Now clear the screen just to make sure that the screen is clean and there are no other previous commands. And now you will have a folder called a distribution, right? So if you look at ls, you will see that distribution.zip is the one which you copied. But when you did the unzip, it created this particular folder called a distribution. I told you to change this particular folder name, move distribution to PassionBytes. That's what I mentioned to you, correct? So we moved it. And then what did I tell you? Inside the PassionBytes, let us go inside PassionBytes, CD, change directory. CD stands for change directory. And inside the PassionBytes, you will have concepts 1, concept 2, and I told you to copy recursively, including the subdirectories of concepts 1, right? CP-R, concepts 1 to a directory called work. This is what we did, right? And we created a directory called work. And now if you go to work, you will see all the junk which is copied from my particular system. I told you to delete whatever is not needed for you. Attic not needed, classes not needed, temp not needed, and test not needed, and anything else, dist not needed, right? Because all these things will be automatically created by your ant, right? So temp is also not needed. rm-rf, temp. Rm means remove, -rf recursively. Okay, so test ls. Now you have build.xml, gpu access.txt and source. gpu access.txt is the file that I told you in the last class to do the word count, if you remember. That is George Bush's speech in 2001. I mentioned to you. Today we don't need that particular file. I am going to delete that particular gpu access.txt as well, so that my directory is now very clean. Now a very important thing that you need to do, remember that build.xml is coming from my computer. It will not be referring to MapReduce lib. Your system contains MapReduce lib, which contains all the jar files that we just created. So what I need to do? vi build.xml, and in that build.xml there is a place where it is referring to all the files in that lib folder which is wrong, which is coming from my computer. So I am going to delete this, and what I need to write? /home/Cloudera /home/Cloudera, that is the home directory, Cloudera, / what is the name of the directory? MapReduce lib is the name of the directory. Okay. Below also there is a place where it is referred. I am going to delete that because we don't need that particular thing. So how will you delete it? Escape. Remember, if you type I, it will be on insert mode. Escape, that insert mode gone, and then type dd, delete, dd, delete, dd, 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 dd. Don't delete too much because look at that. The word target starts at one place and it ends. Similarly, project started in the beginning and you ended. By mistake, if you remove this also, what will happen? Your build.xml will give you error. So it will clearly tell you that your build.xml is wrong because you missed a closing tag. Look at that word, closing tag. Then you know what exactly is missing, right? Again, you don't have to ask me. These are all the English statements, right? So if you see closing tag, you should immediately know, okay, somewhere I have deleted some extra element, right? If everything is correct, now we can go to the source program, ls, cd com, and I told you how to remove this particular name in the last class. Every one of you removed it too. Sheetal, all those things, right? I'm not changing it, so cd Ravi. And here there are so many programs, I don't need that cat.java, I don't need that GPU access.txt. All I need is my word count. Now I am going to start playing. Please look carefully. Word count.java, in Java, as I mentioned to you, the name of the public class is the name of the file, correct? I am doing a population count. So what I am going to do, move the word count.java to population count.java, because it is always good practice to give your program name something meaningful. And if I do this and if I do an ls, you will see now the program name got changed to population count. But now there is a problem. What is the problem? In population count.java, my class name is word count. What I need to do? Vi population count.java, and I need to change this particular line where you have written word count, and hope you are all following, correct? Because we changed it. So what we need to do now? We need to change this one into population count. Did you notice that whenever I am typing, I am pressing the I and the insert is coming, I am typing it, and when I press escape, it is going away. That's how you should get familiarity with the VI. Just open VI, type something, some poem, rain, rain, go away, come out, play around. Then you will get that particular thing. These are the ways by which you will go to professional programmers. By knowing that, okay, you use VI editor, that itself will give an impression to the person who is sitting there that, this is a real programmer. There is no much questions will be asked to you. Because these are all used by the professional people in the industry. But if you are irrespective of that, you are opening a notepad and writing, the perception is different. Okay, so you have used the population count now. So population count is the name of the class. Now remember, there is a word tokenizer mapper. From where it is coming? Remember our MapReduce program where mapper, reducer and driver are there. I am going to change that one and I am going to call it as population mapper, and I am going to come down, and instead of the reducer down here, I have got again a word occurrence reducer. I am going to change this one also as what? The population reducer. So I changed my mapper class and my reducer class. But remember, where are you stitching this mapper and reducer in the final program, in the driver? So if you come down in the driver, you will see that word tokenizer mapper. Remember, this line is not needed. I have commented it out earlier. So this particular line is showing that it is now dealing with the word tokenizer mapper and all. I have changed it, right? And similarly, the name of the program also I changed. So there are three changes that you need to make here. One is, here you are going to write population count dot class, because that is the name of the class. correct? And here you are going to write as population mapper as the name of the mapper, and here you are going to write as the population reducer, which is the name of your reducer class. Now comes a very important thing. Please observe. In the word count program, what did you take as the input? The key and the value. What was the value? Twinkle, twinkle, little star was the value. What was the key? Some random number. We are not using it. Okay. And then that key and value are of what type? In Java, you have to tell that whenever you are taking key and value, what is the data type? So can you tell me? Key is of type object, but the value is of type text, correct? Okay. Then when Suresh or you got that particular twinkle twinkle little star, what did you do? After string tokenizing it, you took that first word twinkle 1. Twinkle 1. So what is the output? Twinkle is the key and 1 is the output. So twinkle is of type text and 1 is of type int or int writable. In Java, we call it as int writable. Int writable is a beautiful class created in Hadoop to represent integers. If you want to know the details, it is a serialized version of int variable. Don't worry about that. Int writable, just by heart that. That is the data type. So in the word count program, it was text and int writable. Can you tell me, in this particular program, what is your key and value? Text, int writable. So nothing to change on the data type. If I am telling you that, okay, write the state as the value and this number as the key, you could have changed the data type as the first one will be int writable, second one will be text. Okay, so if you look at your MapReduce program in the beginning, where the mapper function is written, I am telling that it is going to take key and value as the input, key and value as the input, and it is going to write. Please look, there is a int writable variable that I have created. Int writable variable I have created, and there is a text I have created, right? So twinkle comma 1 in the word count program, that is nothing but, if you look here, it is the word that is the text, and 1, what is 1? That int writable. So no change to that, correct? To the data type. But word and all we have to change. First of all, what are those blue lines that you see? What are these blue lines? These are all comments. We don't want those comments because those comments are for your first program and you became senior programmers now in word count, right? So I am deleting that comment. I am deleting this comment. I am deleting this comment. Okay. Make sure you are not deleting unnecessary lines. Okay. And please look at that. You should be very familiar with this. Look, S is uppercase. D is uppercase, and here this Florida may be lowercase. When I do the word count program, by taking this particular file, what I will get, you know, what is the output of this? I am going to get FL capital 1500 plus this 2000, which is 3500, and FL lowercase 1700, because machine doesn't know what is uppercase and what is lowercase. So it is a good practice that whenever you are writing a MapReduce, everything that you get, you will convert it into lowercase, so that the output is always going to be lowercase. Otherwise, you understand the reason, right? FL will come capital and the other FL will come lowercase. Another one. Some people will write space, some people will be writing without space. So I want to remove that space. And what is the method to remove that space? Trim. So always call to lowercase trim. And you already know what is a string tokenizer. And what is this next token? Next token means it is going to give you the next token. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle is the first token. Twinkle is the second token. Little is the third token. Star is the fourth token. But here you have to be very careful. Why? It is not twinkle 1, 25 1, Duval 1, Florida 1, 1501. That is not the program. What I want. Next token, Next token, fourth next token I have to get. That is why I told you, before writing MapReduce, you should understand your data. You cannot just write that particular value and then put it, right? You understand the difference between twinkle, twinkle, little star and this? Because here, what is your objective? Your objective is to find the population of each state. So your key, or the word by which you are going to measure, is not this, not this, not this, but this, correct? If you take all the tokens, you will get this one, this one, this one. Then it will consider Scott as one state, 25 as another state, dual as another state. That's not what we want, right? So, what I need to do, that's the reason why I gave you in the last class demo.java, and I told you that, okay, that demo.java is using string tokenizer. So, let me delete all these things, right? How will I delete it? dd until the comments are over. How will you know the comments are over? See that star symbol and see that red letters, and that is where the comments are finishing. So I am going to make it very clean for you so that you can completely see it. Okay. Where is the string tokenizer? Okay, the string tokenizer we have to declare. There is no string tokenizer here. Did I delete that particular line? I think I deleted that line. See, tokenizer is there. By mistake, when I used that delete dd, I deleted that. Actually, what you need to do before writing this line, how can you use the word string tokenizer? You have to create a tokenizer class. Remember the last class? How will you create it? String tokenizer, right? And what is the variable name? The variable name is this, tokenizer, right? So, please tell me when I make spelling mistake. See here, string tokenizer, and then tokenizer equal to new string tokenizer. What you are going to, you are getting this this value. So what you are going to write? Value, comma. What is the separator that you should use? Understand that line? This line I explained last class by writing a different program. Correct? What it will do? Remember, I wrote the Hello World program in the last class. Demo.java. Please refer to that. The video is there with you. Right, so I got this one. And now tell me that string S is a problem. Why? It will take the first token. Just now I told you, no? But which token I want? 1, 2, 3, 4th token. So can you guess what I am going to do? I am going to copy this. Don't press Ctrl C. You have to type copy. Okay. And then I am going to come to the next line. And I am going to paste it 3 times. One, two, three, 4, and one more. What is that? Why one more? Why 5 times? This S is what I want, correct? So let's call it as. And this is string, but I don't want a string. I want a number. I will come to that. So I am going to write here string POP, population. But remember, Java can read as only as a string. But for our word count, what we need? Sorry, for our population count, what we need? We cannot add strings. We have to add integers. Okay, so please remember that. So you understood why I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 lines there? Oh, that is wrong. Why are you not telling? This is pop, correct? And this is state. This is some variable, string. I will write not used 2, not used 3, and this is not used 2, and this is not used 1. Not used 1, not used 2, not used 3. Are you following? This state, this population. So I got state and population. I don't want this system.out.println. These are all little bit advanced. We will see it later. And then word.set. Remember the first class. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle 1. But instead of twinkle, what he will be outputting? Will he be outputting yes or state? State. So write state. Are you understanding? Instead of this 1. Why 1? Twinkle 1. Twinkle 1. That was word count. Here what you need to output? Pop. But pop is what? String or integer?
String.
So what I need to do? You need to know a little bit of Java here. Remember the new one example? New iterable in bracket. I have to convert that string into what is that line meaning? Take pop, because pop is a string. Convert that pop into what? Integer. Then convert it into interwritable. Why? Because in Hadoop everything should be interwritable. Remember, your value is interwritable. And that will be written against word. And what is your word? State. So tell me now, if you are the Hadoop nodes, what is Suresh going to do? You not used, please follow this and this board. Not used 1. I am doing what Suresh is going to do. Not used 1, Scott. Not used 2, 25. Not used 3, dual. State, FL. Pop, 1500. So Suresh came up to this line. Now, word.set equal to state. So he is going to write FL. Remember, FL is already lowercase. So lowercase FL. Then what he is going to write? Context.write, take the state, population, convert it into integer and then write it. So he will write not the string 1500. He is going to convert it and then write the word 1500. So what he will write? FL 1500. What Sarita will write at the same time? FL 1700. And what Samiksha will write? FL 2000. And what Sheetal will write? GA 1000. And Claudia will write GA 2000. Now all the FL will go to one reducer. All the GA will go to another reducer. And what is the logic in the reducer? Just add it. So is there any change in the logic different from word count? No, because it is just a summing. Are you getting the idea? So no change at all in the reducer. Why? Reducer is just summing. But remember, if you made any mistake in your data type, like string and all, your reducer will give an error. Why? Because in the reducer, you told that reducer is going to accept what? Interwritable. That is the reason why in the map, I converted it into interwritable. Are you understanding the matching? So, if the mapper is giving to a reducer, make sure that you are giving the reducer what reducer likes. So, if tomorrow I am telling you to write another program where FL is going to become your value, then you will change in the mapper as well as you will be changing here also. Because that is the way it is connected. Consider like two pipes. You cannot convert a big pipe, you cannot connect with a small pipe, right? It should be of compatible size in order to fit it properly. That's what you are doing here. Think very practically. Okay? Assume that this top part of mapper is one pipe and this is another pipe. And you are just fixing it together so that the first pipe is giving the output what is required for the second pipe. Got it? So, once that is particularly done, then there is no change in the reducer at all. Why? Because you are just calculating the sum of the values. Okay? And I don't need my debug output and this comments as well. So, I am going to delete this. You may not delete it. I am just deleting it in order to make sure that you are getting a clear idea of what exactly is the logic. And I don't want this print this particular one also, so I am going to delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. What is that bracket? The reducer is complete. And then comes the driver. And in the driver, I am going to change, this is not a word count program, this is a population count program. So I am going to write population count. And then come down, and instead of first demo, I am going to write here the population count demo or population count demo. And population count I changed, mapper I changed, reducer I changed, and please look one more time. You are telling that your output key is text and output value is inwritable. Text, inwritable. Text, inwritable. Always remember. And then you are telling that, okay, until all the mappers are completing the execution, please wait. So your reducer class, you should always be telling what is the program name, what is your mapper class, what is your reducer class, what are the output key types. That's it, key and value types. Understood what is there in the driver? Mapper, reducer, driver. That's the whole structure of the MapReduce program. Any questions so far? You have mentioned mapper first. We called it as population mapper. Then we have created a reducer which we called as population reducer. Then in the main program, we stitched the population mapper and population reducer. And in the mapper, what is the logic that you did? You extracted the correct value that you want by unused 1, unused 2, unused 3, and then used that state. And then the other value in Java, everything in string tokenizer will be read as strings. And to avoid that, what you did, you converted that string into an integer value. Why you converted into an integer value? Because your reducer is taking an interwritable as a parameter. Right? Now you have completed the program, and the most important thing now is you go back to the place where your build.xml is there. Remember, always you will be compiling by going back to the place where your build.xml is there. That is in the work directory. And type and make sure you get success. If you get an error, you have to go back. Let's try our luck. So it is compiling the code now, and if the bracket are missing, see, so many things are missing. Okay, so string tokenizer, there is a problem. String is not applicable, right? It is having a lot of issues now. So it is not working here. String tokenizer, no suitable constructor found. All these error messages are coming. This is where little bit of Java will be helpful. So VI. Again, go back to your program. Where is your program? Can I go to the program from here? Yes. source/com/ravi/population count.java. Right? See, from there itself I can go. Otherwise, I have to go to cd source, cd this. That is also possible. Right? And come down and let us find out where is the error. So, inside the map, you are creating the string tokenizer. Right? So, in the string tokenizer, you are creating string tokenizer by giving the tokenizer value, and you got an error here. What's the error? It is not taking a string as a parameter. So, let's try by giving a character. See? That's how you will debug. What is the difference between a string and a character? A character means single quote. String means double quote. Okay. Let's try our luck and type and. Okay. Actual formal argument list different length. String tokenizer string is not applicable. Value text comma character is not applicable. Again, so many errors. This is the reason why I gave you that concept 1 as the original copy. So what you need to do, if you are getting this question, okay, because you don't know Java, you may need to look at the reference. So whenever you are coming to that, because you already know that your concept 1 is the real code. So cd, where? PassionBytes. And inside the PassionBytes, you have concepts 1. And inside the concepts 1, again go to source com ravi The name of the program is, remember, word count.java, because that is original copy. And you just come down and then see how the string tokenizer is declared and used. Look at that. So this value is of type what? What is the type of value? Text. But the string tokenizer in Java, open the browser, just type Java doc, Java document, string tokenizer, spelling, enter. It will directly open the Java doc. See, string tokenizer, enter, and just look. See how the string tokenizer is created. What is the parameter? Is it a text or is it a string? It is a string. That is the mistake that we have done. So what you need to do, once you understand that, in the PassionBytes concepts 1, close that. See, I am playing with the two multiple windows. One window, the PassionBytes original code. Other window is the place where my code is there. And I am using the arrow key. Why arrow key? Look, when I press the arrow key, what will happen? It is showing me the previous command. And then I am going to open that. And here I am going to write value dot. You have to press insert. But to string. Can you tell me one more time why I am doing that to string? Because string tokenizer takes string as a parameter. I just now told you, a pipe should be fitting to other pipe. You should give the correct data type. In Java, that one thing you please make sure that the data types should be matching. Okay? And here, this was not a mistake, right? We guessed that this is this is a mistake, but it is not a mistake, and we are going to change it as double quote. And now let's see what is, oh sorry, double quote. And then let's see whether there are any further errors or not. What you need to type, and see, I'm using the arrow key. Once you type a command, don't type it again, and press enter. Beautiful. Now build successful. This is an iterative process. This will come only by practice. This I gave you one file. Now I leave it to your imagination to create some tens and thousands of such examples. I just took population as an example. You take something else. Number of TV purchases in Walmart every day. And tell me what is the monthly total. Leave it to your imagination to create problems. Think about files. And then practice. Understand? So, you got it. Now what we need? Did we create this file? Till now we have not created. So what I am going to do next is, I am going to create vi input.txt. I have to create a file, right? In the ideal practice, this will come from the census department. In the ideal practice of Walmart example, it will be given by Walmart. That is where you are going to do the job. When you get a job, that is what you will do. But now, to learn, you will create a file. So, input.txt. What should I do? I should write all these values. So, let us quickly write it. Scott, comma, age is 25, and he is from Duval County, and then it is Florida. See, let us write F in uppercase, L in lowercase. Why? I am going to mix and play. Because we are converting everything into lowercase, I should get the correct answer. VFL, comma, I will write here 1500. Next line is, let's say, King, and then I'm going to write 30 is the age, and then Duval is the county, and then I'm going to write F in a lowercase, L in uppercase, and then I'm going to write here 1700. Correct? Yeah. And the next one is Ellen, and then I'm going to write 30, and I'm going to write St. John's, and I'm going to write FL this time completely capital, and then I'm going to write here 2000. So I know the answer for this is 4200. And then next data, which is Ford, and then inside the Ford I'm going to write here say 30, and then I am going to write Alberta, and then I am going to write GA as G as uppercase on this one, and I will write here 1000. And the next line, last line, okay, you can go on creating the line, and the beauty of Hadoop is millions and trillions of lines, no problem at all. So 30 comma, and I'm going to write here Atlanta, and then I'm going to write here G and A as capital, and then I'm going to write here 2000. So we should get 3000 and this one as the answer. My data file is over. Escape. And remember, if you didn't create the data file correctly, assume that you missed one field, your program will be completely going haywire. Why? Instead of the population, it will take something else and you are going to get error.
So you didn't need on that last line to hit enter?
The semicolon? The comma?
When you were creating the input file.
No need. Okay. It knows the end of file, EOF, it knows end of the file. One more question, do you need a comma at the end? No need, because by default, new line is the terminator. Okay. And now I am going to, where did I create the file? In the Hadoop file system or in the local file system? Where did I create the file? In the local file system. What I need to do for Hadoop? I should put it into HDFS. So what we will do? Hadoop FS minus mkdir. Let us use the date. April, what is the date? 9. Okay, as the directory name. It created an empty directory. Now, Hadoop FS minus put. What is the file? Input.txt to the directory April 9. And now what we need to do? Inside the dist folder, what is already created? When I compiled the program, my Hadoop.jar is already created, correct? And now how will you run the code? Hadoop jar, my Hadoop.jar. It should all come from your mouth. Understand? Nothing, no practice. That is why you are not telling anything. Com dot. What is the name of the program? Ravi dot. What is the name of the class? What word count? Population count. We changed it. All should be picture perfect. The P you put the lowercase, gone. Class not found. Because you know in Java, uppercase, uppercase, lowercase, single word. Name of the class should be exactly same as the name of the this one. Instead of com.ravi, if you write com.abc, but you didn't change the package name, gone. Population count. And what is your input file name? Input directory name is April 9. And April 9 out. And press enter. Anything wrong in the file, you will get an error there. But if suppose no errors are coming, the MapReduce is getting executed, which means everything is perfect. And how will you know your logic is also perfect? At the end, you are going to do Hadoop FS minus cat April 9 out slash part dash R dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? Remember? That is the name of the output file that is created. And what you should see. Oh, sorry. Not a single person is telling. What you should get. Did I refer anything? Nothing. So simple, so beautiful, so clear. All the things that you need to know is that. Why it is lowercase? Now you know. So if you get an uppercase, then you know where is the problem. If you are not getting Florida, instead of that, it is telling that Scott is 5,200 and Ford is 3,000. You know where is the problem. Tokenizer. The magic is tokenizing. Tokenizing is like ETL. You are taking the columns and then you are applying what column you need. Any data you get, you convert it into this particular format and then apply it. And now, last but not least, go to the browser and then go to the port localhost 8088 and press enter. You should see the population count now as population count demo, and the MapReduce is succeeded. The admin will be able to monitor the application. He can go to the application ID and he can look at the logs. He can read everything that happened during that MapReduce program, and it will tell you, oh, here I have not enabled the history, that's why. If suppose you are looking at the mapper log, reducer log, everything you will be able to see here inside this. Okay, I think history will not work because it's that. So map is there, reducer is there, and then you can see how much time it took, each map, each reducer took, every detail you will be able to find it in 8088.
What is the meaning of that command? Part minus R and then 5 times 0.
Alright, so whenever you are creating an output or whenever you are creating anything in MapReduce, what is the output file name you gave? You use the arrow key and you find out how will you run the program. See, what was the output file directory name? April 9 output. Now how will you see using a Hadoop command? What is there inside April 9 out? Hadoop fs minus ls April 9 out, right? You will be seeing two files inside this. One will be called part dash r dash 5 zeros and another will be called as underscore success. Underscore success is used for ETL programmers and all to know whether your program successfully completed or not. It is a trigger feed if you are familiar with the programming. Part dash r dash 000 will contain the data that is created as the output of your program. So to print that, you will use the command Hadoop fs minus cat April 9 out slash part dash r dash 1 2 3 4 5. I want you to type that and see. Why? You can. If you want to miss all these things, you don't care of all these things, part star. It will also give you that particular output, but you will not know what is that R, what is that 5 zeros and all, because there is some trick there that you will learn later. The letter R plays a very important role there. Okay, that's how you should do the MapReduce. So now I won't be touching the computer in the coming classes. You will be doing everything, right? And we will not be spending more than 10 minutes for each of you. Then we will not be able to complete. So if I don't want to spend 10 minutes, not more than 10 minutes each of you, you should have the basics. Otherwise we will just skip. Okay? So please practice and come. I have recorded the complete steps again.